All praise to the Most High, Shohaya, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yeshai. This is your Akshema of the Holy Seed of Jeshurun, that set apart remnant of the Most High's people of Yasha Allah. I'm blessed to come to you again this day, man, with a word of truth. We're in some real prophetic end times right now. And so I've been working on this lesson just to make sure I can break it down to you piece by piece so you can understand exactly where we are in prophecy, because the word is true and it prophesied of everything that's going on, and I mean everything that's going on right now, all right? So we're going to get into this lesson right now. We're going to start first in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 42, we'll start there. All praise to your name. Let's see, Matthew 24 and 42. All right. Matthew 24 and 42, and it reads, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your master doth come." Right? So this giving you a warning about the return of Yeshai in reference to what hour he's coming. All right, and this hour is very important. Verse 43, "But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up." Common sense. If you know somebody happened to break in your house, man, at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be sitting right there, burner down, ready to go, right? So according to the prophecies, this is how we're able to watch and see the prophecies and know when our master is coming. 44, "Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man cometh." So again, we hear that word hour. We're going to get into that as well. And it's also referencing to letting him know he's going to be coming within an hour that nobody knows. Only one that knows is the Most High. Yeshai don't know. The angels don't know. Only the Most High knows, right? So let's break some scripture now. Let's go to Psalms 90 and 4. Start there. All right. This is Psalms 90 and verse 4. It says, "For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night." What is this saying? 1,000 years on earth is but one day, or yesterday in the heavens, meaning one day, right? If that understanding is not clear for you, we'll read the precept in 2 Peter 3 and 8. 2 Peter 3 and 8 says, "But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Most High as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day." Right? So we're going here to help you understand the biblical timeline in the scripture, so you can know that the Most High did give us a measurement of time coded in the scriptures that can be broken down to let you know where we are as far as being close to the time of the return of our master. All right? I'm telling you, one day is of 1,000 years. So with this understanding, and we're going to break down all these scriptures with these type of templates of how to tell time. We're going to set a time frame right now that we're going to go through the scriptures following. Okay, so Genesis chapter 1. It says, "In the beginning, I created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of Ahia moved upon the face of the waters. And Ahia said, Let there be light, and there was light. And Ahia saw the light, that it was good, and Ahia divided the light from the darkness. And Ahia called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day." So according to what we just read, precept of Psalms and Peter, all these things he just did on the first day took 1,000 years on earth. You understand? So we know the days of creation were 6. So at the end of the 6 days of creation, the heaven and the earth were 6,000 years old. You understand? This is of a truth, right? And you'll see when we're done with this where we're going. Man also created on the 6th day. Genesis 1:27. So Ahia created man in his own image, in the image of Ahia created he him, male and female created he them. Jumping over to verse 30, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for me, and it was so. Verse 31, and Ahia saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. In the evening and the morning was the 6th day. So being that man was made on the 6th day, the very next day, the Sabbath day, right? The very next day, mankind had been on earth for 1,000 years. This is the start of the 1,000 years for a man, his first 1,000 years on the 6th day, right? Now, we might not be able to tell time and look at time this way, because you hear archaeologists, people that find dinosaur bones, to say, oh, the earth is 100 billion, zillion years old, and we found this pottery that was from 50,000 years ago. Like, they're just rolling the dice and throwing numbers at you, okay? This earth that we're on right now, I'm going to show you, as far as the heavens and the earth, is only a little less, a little shy than 11,000 years old, right? There's a water that I drink. I think I brought this out before. It's called Starkey's. And if you read the information on the back of a Starkey's water bottle, it tells you that the water is 11,000 years old. You know, and those that are woke, we see that quick. Like, how will they know to pick that number out of all numbers? Because the powers that be and those who have this truth, they know that the earth ain't no million years old. It's only almost 11,000 years old, according to Scripture. All right, and I'm going to show you that today. Also, I'll show you that mankind, we're not in, mankind has been in existence on the earth for a little shy of 6,000 years. I'm going to show you that today too, in the Scripture. All right, and knowing this, the number after 11 is what? 12. The Most High uses the number 12. The number after 6,000 years is what? 7. The Most High uses 7. 12 and 7. You're going to understand, all right, that this is the time frame we're in, and according to the biblical routine way that the Most High deals with time as far as numbers, this number is going to be the time that Hamashiach Yeshai returns to the earth. I'm not about to tell you I know the day is coming, but it's going to be around this time or hour that Yeshai comes, within this hour. All right. Now we're going to go to Daniel 7:13, because we're going through this because all this truth has been distorted and changed. This is Daniel 7 and verse 24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. These are your first 10, excluding Italy. These are your first 10 countries of the EU. All right, now they got like 19 members in the EU, but the first 10, these we talk, excluding Italy, is your 10 kings that are being spoken of right here. And others shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall do 3 kings. The other is Babylon, aka America. And the 3 kings that he subdued is of the 10, which is Spain, France, and Great Britain, right? Verse 25, and he shall speak great wonders against the Most High, this is Babylon, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, as he's doing now in Babylon, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time, times, and the dividing of times. Now, whole lot got said right there. What I want you to know about that verse is that the powers that be at this point being Babylon, which is an extension of the Roman Empire, all right, and the Roman Catholic Church, they have changed the times, so we don't know what time it is. They tell you in 2021. We're not even in the year 2000, y'all. All right, I'm gonna show y'all we more we're in a year that is close to the year 1746. That's the year we're in right now, 1746 AD. I'm going to show you in the scripture, real easy, all right? Also, it says that, and they, the saints, shall be given into his hand until a time, times, and dividing a time. As we go to the scriptures, you're going to understand that's talking about a year. One year is a time. Times is 2 years. And the dividing of time is half a year. That's a 3.5 year span, all right? As we get into the lesson, you're going to know exactly how important the 3.5 years is, all right? So let's move now. We're going to go into an extra biblical text. And this is a clear example where those who don't deal with extra biblical text, you're missing out on true breakdown of the scriptures, especially these dark speeches, because you're not going to get the breakdown nowhere else. And today is going to be an example to show you need to deal with extra biblical text, or you're just going to be lost in a lot of things. Straight up, have a false doctrine, all of that. So we're going to read the scripture, biblical reference for the book of Jubilees, and then we'll go into it. This is 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 14, verse 3. Then said he unto me, in the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talk with him when my people served in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt and brought them up, and brought him, Moses, to the Mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season. All right, this is the Most High speaking of his account with Moses. Verse 5, and told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. So, when Moses was up there 40 days and 40 nights, not once but twice, he went up there for 40 days, 40 nights. The Most High had him by him a long season, showed him many wondrous things, and he showed him the secret of the times. So, common sense should tell you there's a secret about how to tell time. All right. This was written down in the book of Jubilees, and he commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare, the 613 laws, statutes, and commandments, and these shalt thou hide, the secret of the times, or the book of Jubilees. All right. So this is the understanding that Moses was given on the mountain, in addition to everything that we trying to figure out and understand of what time it is. This was hidden until now, right? So let's go into the book of Jubilees and break down something right now, right? This is the book of Jubilees, chapter 50. We're going to read chapter 50, verses 1 through 5. See that? Book of Jubilees, chapter 50, 1 through 5. It says, and after this law I made known to thee the days of the Sabbaths in the desert, right? So this is him having in the desert of Sinai, which is between Elim and Sinai. This one is on the mountain we just read. Verse 2, and I told thee of the Sabbaths of the land on Mount Sinai, and I told thee of the Jubilee years in the Sabbaths of years, but the year thereof have I not told thee till ye enter the land which ye are to possess. So understand, he said he told you the Jubilee years. You can read about this in Leviticus 25, which we're going to go there, and the Sabbath of years, which is, we're also going to read about that in Leviticus 25 to let you know there's a different type of year than a 364-day year in the Bible. There's different types of years and different ways to break down when the scripture says year. All right. Verse 3, and the land also shall keep its Sabbaths while they dwell upon it, and they shall know the Jubilee year. Verse 4, wherefore I have ordained for thee the year weeks. All right. I'm going to just read it and I'll break it down. I have ordained for thee the year weeks and the years and the Jubilees. So these are 3 different type of ways to tell time according to a year, y'all. Right? There are 49 Jubilees from the days of Adam until this day. Now, okay, let's break some down. The year weeks, it means a week. How many days you have in a week? 7 days. So sometimes when you see week in the scripture, it actually means 7 years. Yes, that's why it says the year weeks. So we'll say week, and it really means 7 years. Sometimes when you see the word week, it'll just mean 1 year, right? And you'll see this as we calculate these prophecies in the scripture, right? Then you have some years that are regular years, 364. Then you have some years that are jubilees. Now, a jubilee is 50 years, okay? We're not talking about the year of jubilee, which is every 7 years. We're talking about a jubilee, which is a 50-year span, right? Now, reading the next verse, there are 49 jubilees. That means there are 49 50-year spans, or 49 times 50, which is 2,450 years from the days of Adam unto this day. So from Adam to when Moses got the commandment, we can confidently say it was 2,450 years. See that? This is how our forefathers told time, by jubilees. And when you read the book of Jubilees, last we hear, it breaks down everything, titling the time frame by the Jubilee. In the third Jubilee, on the second month, on the third day, such and such and such, right? So this is how our forefathers told time. Now this, of course, was changed by the Roman Empire with the Julian calendar, the Greco-Roman calendar, and got us thinking we in a certain time to make you think you got more time on this earth, to make you think everything's going to be all right, make you think, you know what, this ain't going to happen in my lifetime. No. It's about to happen right now, y'all. Let me show you in the scripture. All praise to the Most High. Finishing up that verse. And 1 week and 2 years. Now, remember, that week, 7 days. So that's really 7 years and 2 years. So that's 9 altogether. You read it again. And there are 49 jubilees from the days of Adam unto this day. And 1 week and 2 years. So what it's saying there is 49 jubilees, right? And the days of Adam and the day is 2410, right? 2,410 years, and 1 week and 2 years. That's 9 years. And there are 49 years to come for learning the commandments of the Most High until they pass into the land of Canaan, crossing the Jordan to the west. So remember, 2410 is when, and on the 9th year of that Jubilee, which is 2410, mind you, listen while I'm breaking it down. 2400, right? 2400 is 48 Jubilees. So on the 49th Jubilee is what we just read, is that time frame when we were in the wilderness for 40 years. That's why I said right here, it says, and there are 40 years to come for learning the commandments. So that takes you into the 49th Jubilee, right? That is 2,450 years. 49 times 50 Jubilee years. You understand? Until they pass over into the land of Canaan, crossing the Jordan to the west. So we know 2450 is the number, right? From Adam to us, learning the commandment and going up to possess the land. Verse 5, and the Jubilee shall pass by until Israel is cleansed from all guilt of fornication and uncleanness and pollution and sin and error, and dwells with confidence in the land, and there shall be no more a Satan or evil one, and the land shall be cleansed from that time forevermore. This is jumping all the way into our glorious gathering into the land for the final time under King Yeshua, where there's going to be no more sin. So this is not talking about when they're about to go up now, at this point when they first received the law. This is talking about at the end times right now, when we're gathered back and taken back into the line as all these jubilees or time passes by, right? Now, so we got to understand it from jubilees that what? You got some weeks that when it says in the scripture, it means 7 years. We got some years that are regular 364-day years, and then you got some years that are jubilee years. That means it's 50 years, not just 1 year. All right, and with this key, we're gonna break this word down, y'all. Y'all gonna see stuff up in here. Y'all about to see some stuff. All right, let's get another breakdown a little further on another way that another key according to time. That's going to help us break down some other things as well. This is Ezekiel 4 and verse 5. This is going to show us something else as well. Alright. Ezekiel 4 and 5. And it reads, "For I have laid upon thee the years of their iniquities, according to the number of the days. 390 days, so shalt thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel." So this is the time and the punishments that was going to be upon the northern kingdom for their sin, their iniquity. Verse 6, "And when thou hast accomplished them, lie on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year." You hear that? So sometimes in the scripture, when it says a day, it really means a year. According to scripture, it tell you right here. This is a key for you. It wasn't just a prophecy to Ezekiel for him to say, "Oh, I got to lay on my side for 390 days for Israel and 40 days for Judah," which is collectional is 430 days. And y'all know about the prophecy of Israel being a stranger and a sojourner in another person's land for 430 years. You remember that? So understand that this is a precept unto that, but it's also telling you that in the scripture, some days are actually years in the twofold breakdown of the dark speeches. And the dark speeches, there's twofold. Let's get that right. Matter of fact, let me get the precept for this first to show you this is not a one-time saying in the scripture. This is Numbers 14 and 34. This is a deep study. I pray y'all take y'all time. That's why I'm going kind of slower on this one. You know, I know usually I be trying to run through these things because I don't know how, my memory is on my phone, but I'm going to just take my time. If I do part two, I do part two, but I need y'all to understand this. This is Numbers 14 and 34. "After the number of the days in which ye search the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of the promise." So you're getting a template right now on how to break down the double in the dark speeches, because all the scriptures are twofold. So you're going to get the double breakdown or the second breakdown when it comes to days, years, weeks, jubilee years. All right. Now let's get Job, just to show you all this guy saying that the scriptures mean two things. Okay, let's read it in the scripture to show that the Most High said that's true. This is Job 11 and 6. "And that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom," right? "That they are double to that which is," right? "Now therefore that Ahiah exacted of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth." So when you get the secrets of this wisdom, of this knowledge, of this truth, of this word, know that they're double. So you got the surface meaning of that particular time frame, then you got the revelation meaning of something for the future, or the prophecy that you can look forward to in the end times. You understand? All right? So now, let's go to Leviticus 23, and we're going to break down what a jubilee is. And all we're doing right now is setting the table, right? Setting the table according to scriptures, according to extra biblical text, so we can then look into the scripture and see what thus said the Most High from old, right? Let nobody tell you the white man wrote the book, messed up the book. This book is intact, for sure. And when I show you this stuff today, you're going to be like, there's no way they could have messed this up. The only way this can get messed up is if you start reading the extra, you start reading other Bibles, other versions that have changed the wording. Now you've lost all your opportunity to have precept upon precept and get the understanding we're about to get today. Because they can change the words. You think you're getting better understanding, you're thinking that it's easier. No, you're making it harder. Now you're not going to know what it says. Or it says, through thy precepts, I get understanding. You can't precept if they change the words. This is Leviticus chapter 25, and we'll start at verse 8. "And thou shalt number 7 Sabbath of years." Remember, he told you the Sabbath of years, right? Now let's break that down. How many Sabbaths are in a week? 1. So you got the Sabbath of years. Meaning these years are 7 years. That's what that means. A Sabbath of years means 7 years. And thou shalt number these 7 Sabbaths of years. So you got 7 Sabbaths of years. So 7 times 7, that's 49 years. You'll see. Unto thee, 7 times 7, that's what it says. And the space of 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. See that? So showing you 49 years. Verse 9. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month, and the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. Talking about the day of atonement, right? Verse 10. And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. So you think, oh, see, that's talking about the year Jubilee. That is talking about the year Jubilee, right? Where every man return his possession, right? Verse 11. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. You see that? So every 50 years, like we read in Jubilees, is 50 years. You have the year of Jubilee, which is every 7 years. Then you have a Jubilee, which is every 50 years. You understand? Verse 11, a Jubilee shall that 50 year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither shall reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed, for it is the Jubilee. It shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof of the field. In the year of this Jubilee, ye shall return every man unto his possession. So, just remember, when it speaks on the Jubilee, telling you that on the 7th year, everything has to be restored, right? Back to your brother. If you had a debt, if you sold him your land, they had to give it back to you. If you owed somebody or whatever, all that debt is forgiven, right? And everything's restored, back to even. This is the brotherly love we had in Israel at that time, to where our nation was always cool. Brother was always cool with each other. It wasn't like, oh, this dude loaned me $10 when we was in the 10th grade, and I'm mad at him for 10 years. You feel me? And I see him, later on, and nah. We have brotherly love, and we Most High, hey, it's a commandment. Forgive all that debt and give back to your brother. And we're gonna all be living in harmony in this land. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High. Now, we done got the template on how to break down time in the scripture. I gave y'all that template. Y'all can't forget that. We're going to move now according to that, and we're going to get some truth, y'all. We're going to get some truth. And I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get. I'm going to have to do this in a couple of lessons, man, because I'm on a different phone now, but we're going to try to get some of this out right now. We'll go to Genesis chapter 1. I wanted to go through that part slow. Hopefully y'all got it. Now we can start rolling. All right. This is Genesis chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Ahiah saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Now, people believe that these are men on earth. These are angels. There's so many reasons I can go through to break this down, but I did a video on it. Days of Noah, angels are men. You got to check that out. All right, these are angels. They did some wicked, slept with the daughters of men, presented themselves as a better version of married women while their husbands were gone in the field or doing business, and slept with these daughters, and they bore giants unto them. So in verse 3, the Most High had a response of how he felt or what he saw in reference to the creation he made being hybridized or being contaminated or tainted or corrupted. All right. And the Most High said, my spirit shall not always strive with men. So in this spiritual, he said, I'm not always going to strive with these fleshly people down here. Why? For that he also is flesh, right? Yet his days shall be 120 years, right? So we see right there another reference that a day, he said, let his days shall be as 120 years. Now, he said, I'm not going to deal with you living in the flesh, because at this time, mankind lived for 900 some years, 700 years, 800 years, right? This is before the flood. So he's like, man, now I got to cut this short, because man is out here wicked. They doing this stuff. I'm not going to just be enduring and dealing with men doing this dumb stuff for 900 to 800 years at a time. You're going to live 120 years. That's it, right? Now, that's the surface understanding. Now, the twofold understanding is at 120 years. Let's plug in the Jubilee year number there and say that's 50 years. So you got 120 times 50 years, and what do you get? You get 6,000 years, you guys. All right. This is the template number we're going to deal with today to show you how long that the Most High said he's going to strive with men. How long is he going to go back and forth for men with their wickedness, with their wrong, before there's everlasting righteousness? 6,000 years, you guys. That's what the scripture just said in the twofold double revelation of wisdom. All right? Now, we're going to move forward and start going in. This is the template, 6,000 years. Mind you, the 7,000 year will be when Yeshua comes in, and there's everlasting righteousness, which will also simultaneously be the 12,000th year of the existence of the heavens and earth. 12 and 7. You're going to see this. Right now, we're going to go to Daniel. Back to Daniel. 9 and 24. It's about to get thick and deep, y'all. All right. Daniel. Chapter 9, right? Okay, Daniel chapter 9, and we'll start at 24. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city. Now, when it says week, it's talking about a year. So this is 70 years. If you know one, let's get the precept right quick. The Most High told Judah that they were going to be in captivity for 70 years. This is what this is talking about on the surface. All right. Jeremiah 29 and 10. For thus said I that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word toward you in causing you to return to this place. So this is what the Most High was telling Jeremiah. I'm going to let children of Israel go into captivity, but I'm going to bring you back after a certain time, right? 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city on Jerusalem to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness and to seal up the vision and prophecy and to anoint the most holy. So this is the surface. They were going to go to Babylonian captivity, come back, and when they come back, it's going to finish the transgression, make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. All that I just read is talking about the coming of Yeshua. All right? Because he's the only one that's going to reconciliation for iniquity, that come fulfill and seal up the vision and the prophecy that he was going to come by all the prophets, and to anoint the most holy. He is the most holy, and to bring in everlasting righteousness. Yeshua. Right? Now, the twofold of that is what? 70 weeks are determined on thy people and upon the holy city to finish the transgression to make an end of sin. So, let's plug in the Jubilee. That week is a Jubilee. 70 times 50 gives you what? 3,500 years. Right? Understand this. 3,500 years. So, what is that? The notes. Let's look at the notes. Tell you in the book of Jubilees. Also, from the giving of the law, which we're going to read that next, it's 3,500 years from the Mosaic law unto Yeshua. And this is unto Yeshua's second coming. All right? 3,500 years to the second coming. Now, we already read. Let's break it down. We already read earlier. From Adam to Moses is 2,450 years, right? 49 Jubilees. So, mind you, in Genesis chapter 6, we read 120 years. So if you take 49 from 120, you get 71 Jubilees. You see that? This is talking about 70 of the Jubilees right here. That 70 was from Moses to the second coming of Yeshua. From Adam to Moses was 2450. From Moses to Yeshua is 35. You see that? 35 plus the 2450 is 5950, which is 50 years shy of our 6,000 year 6,000 year time frame we got. You see this, you guys. All right, so of course, there's an account for one Jubilee in there that we're going to get to and show you what the breakdown is. But I'm hoping you seeing this, y'all. The twofold is the 70 weeks is the last 70 of the 120 years that Ahia said his spirit shall not always strive with men. The first 50 or 49 was from Adam to Moses. From Moses to the second coming of Yeshua is the 70 weeks or 3,500 years. You follow me, right? Now, verse 25. Now, therefore, and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore, to build Jerusalem. Now, this commandment was given in 1st Ezra by Cyrus. The commandment to restore and build Jerusalem after they came out of the Babylonian captivity. So this is running on the surface. This is running right with what's going on, okay? After y'all come out of this captivity, we're going to build the temple, right? So it's saying, now therefore, and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore, to build Jerusalem unto, so from that point, comma, unto the Messiah, the Prince, unto when Yeshua comes, what? Shall be 7 weeks, semicolon, and 62 weeks, the street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times, right? This is deep right here, all right? It took me a while to break this down, but understand, I'm going to go to the time frame to tell you what's this being said. It says, unto Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks, semicolon, and 62 weeks, the street shall be built. So, the 7 weeks, what is that? Let's look at Jubilees. Semicolon, that's a separate prophecy. 7 weeks, so that's Jubilee years. We're going to say Jubilee years. We plug in 7 times 50 and you get 350 years. Now, when did our forefathers come out of that captivity? 515 BC. They went in 586. The temple was burnt in 586 BC, right? And they came, 70 years from that, they came out and start rebuilding at 515 BC. Now, if we go to, I think it's John, right? Let's go to John right quick. Let's go to John so you can see how long it took them to build the temple, right? Go to John, it tells you, right? Okay, this is St. John chapter 2, verse 18. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, what sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? Yeshua answered and said unto him, destroy this temple, the one that they rebuilt after they came out of Babylon, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? So now we got to understand it, right? So we go back. Jews came out of captivity in 515 BC. You got to check your scholastic sources to verify that. It doesn't say that number in the scripture, but when you do the study, it comes to the year 515 BC. So you minus 46 years from that because the time it goes downward in counting because you're going to BC. You're not going to AD, getting larger. So 46 years from the time they started, 515, subtract 46 years from that, and you get what? Boom, you get 469 BC, right? 469 BC. Matter of fact, I did that backwards. We can still do it both ways. It don't matter. So then let's take the 7 weeks that I told you, the 350 years. 515 minus 350 years, right? What do you get? You get 119, all right? 550, you get 169, Salakia. Let me write this down, y'all. I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. 515 minus 350. You get 165 years, all right? Then you minus the 46 years that were in building, so you're at 165 BC. and you minus the 46 years they were in building, and you get 119 years, right? Doing that right. So, now you have to ask yourself, what is going on here? 119 years. You go over, now we get back up here into the scriptures, where it says, that was the first breakdown, 7 weeks to 7 years. And then, so we minus